Hi, my name is Tim Brown, and I'm a web designer here in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and I'm going to show you some cool stuff today. This is the fourth tutorial in the Web Design Tutorial for Beginners series, and today we're going to be talking about icons for the user interface of a web design and using icons to give more interest to a design as well, and just creating the interface for a website. And so let's get to it. Alright, so you see the design that we've come up with in the last couple videos, and I just want to look at this for a second and kind of review it. It's starting to look kind of nice, not bad. But let's say, for instance, we wanted to turn these three items here into a carousel, and we wanted to have a little bit of visual design to demonstrate that it will be a carousel. I'm going to show you how to do that. So one great way to do that is to download the Font Awesome icon set, and you download it as a font. So I'm going to go ahead here and go to Font Awesome Font Family. Let's go Font Download TTF. Font Awesome Font Download TTF. And Font Awesome, there's a new version coming out soon, but we're going to download this one. No thanks, just give me the Font Awesome stuff, guys. Love Font Awesome. So you'll click on that once you got it download and get it going here. If you go in and you go into fonts, you can grab it and double click on Font Awesome Web Font TTF, or however you do that on PC. I go to install font, and in this case it's already downloaded and installed, but you will say yes, 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 I want that installed, and then let's go back to our document once it's done. You may need to kind of click out of whatever you're doing. I think Illustrator normally just updates it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to make a text box. I'm going to go into Window and go to Type and go to Glyphs. So these are all the glyphs of that font. Now Font Awesome, if we go into Font Awesome up here, we press character, and then I go F-O-N-T, Font Awesome Regular. Look at all these awesome glyphs. So we can now use these in our interface. And not only that, but if a web developer is looking at this, you just tell them that it's Font Awesome, and it's very commonly used, first of all, but it's easy to wield as a developer. So you're helping the process along, not just you if you're part of a team. Alright, so I'm just going to amp up this font size of this icon a little bit here. Character, let's go to like 52 or something. Depends on the size of your document, of course. You know what, I think we're going to have to move these bad boys in here, because I'm going to try to do a little circle there with it. So I'm going to select this, select everything to do with this block. I'm going to nudge it towards the center here so we have more room over there for this icon. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a circle around that icon too, just to give it a little bit more pressability. I'm not really sure that that's a word, but you get what I'm saying. Pressability, so that this thing can be obvious that you click it to move the carousel over. So I'm going to go ahead and let's try making this blue for the time being. I'm going to zoom in here so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to take a circle around it, and it's going to be awesome. Alright, so we've got this circle, we've got this icon. Clearly we want to do these on both sides. I think you can play around with this a bit to see what style you like. It really is up to you. I think the non-negotiable would be that it's obvious that it's a button, that it's obvious what the button does, and that it's big enough to press easily. And on mobile, which we haven't covered any mobile yet, but you'll want this to be at least 45 pixels by 45 pixels tall. So 45 pixels wide by 45 pixels tall, because that is the minimum amount of height and width for it to be very pressable with a finger. You kind of want to think about it. Think about people as a eyeball and a fat thumb. You want it to be really easy for people to click through on things. Usability is extremely important. In the previous video, I mentioned Don't Make Me Think, which is a great book. If you guys didn't watch the other video, that book, Don't Make Me Think, it helps you realize that you want these things to be as easy for people to use as possible. So, okay, so we've had these two buttons. We're utilizing this font, awesome font, and then a circle in Illustrator, and whatever program you're using, a circle. I'm using the blue line. I don't know if I actually said that, but I want this thickness of this rule on this circle to be the same thickness as this icon, because I'm kind of trying to get some visual consistency here. So that's what I'm doing. This is kind of a taste thing, but I want this circle to have that line to have the same thickness as these lines here. Something to think about. All right, so that is one way to utilize those. There's a lot of other ways. You can use so many of these things here. What would be a common one? Maybe I have a let's see. This might be a common one that you might be able to use. Let's make this button a little bit bigger, this contact button, and let's take the font, awesome, and let's make. There's a lot of icons, so search through them, figure out if there's anything that you like. But let's say we wanted to find the mail icon. It's not just arrows, right? It's a bunch of different stuff. So I am going to make this a little envelope and pop it in here. See how that looks. Might suck. I don't actually normally do this, but I'm kind of just giving you an idea of how other ways to use this this icon font. And I use it all the time. A lot of times it's for these arrows. A lot of times I use it for icons, like the mail one. So there's a lot of different ways to use it. Let's try this icon. Okay. So there's a way to do it. There's thick lines, there's those thin lines. It really depends on the style. There's, what else? A lot of good icons in here. Sometimes I'll use these funnier ones like this diamond or a rocket or different bits and pieces. There's a play button, there's a graph, there's an on button. Just think about how you can use those icons. Another thing that I wanted to talk about, in the first video, if you're watching this, I actually skipped over creating or using icons in this section because it's going to take too much time. The truth is I'm not an icon designer. I do branding, but it takes me a while, and I don't really want to spend all of my time icon designing. But what if we wanted to get some icons? I'm going to give you a hack. I use something called Creative Market sometimes for icon packs and things like that. I go to Creative Market. I want line icons because I want them to be classy and simple. So if I search line icons in Creative Market, lots of places to buy stuff like this. But Futuro line icons, and I vetted this for a while because it was 69 bucks and I didn't want to spend that. But the thing is that your time's worth a lot of money too. And you should start to think that way. And in this way, I was able to essentially get a ridiculous amount of icons for 69 bucks, and I like the style. Like it said, I spent a lot of time looking through it. So let me just kind of show you. If you buy an icon pack like this, what it would look like. And so it's Futuro icons, the one that I'm using here. I'm going to try to show you how it will look to incorporate those into the design. This is not an icon design course, so I'm not going to give you, oh, these are the principles to creating the best icons. But let's say we wanted to find some, there's like, on this one, there's energy source, people avatars, outdoor recreation, you know, all kinds of different web design and development, design thinking, cloud, advertising and media. So this is starting to get closer to what I wanted, because I wanted some stuff about social media stuff, right? So I'm actually going to go down here to advertising and media, and I'm going to use some of these. Let's say I wanted distribution channels. So I'm going to grab that. I'm actually going to pop it in here and see how it looks. So a way to hack your way to some iconography relatively quickly. So I'm changing the lines to that. I'm actually going to go in here, I'm going to grab this color. I'm clicking on the color, and then I'm grabbing the hex, because I'm going to use that hex. I don't want to use the dropper, because the eyedropper, because I don't want to fill it in. I actually want to change the line, the stroke color. Ooh, look at that. That's not bad for real quick, right? Because I paid for some icons, and it's okay to pay for some stuff. If it, to me, in the end, if it helps the client and it gives them a better thing relatively quickly, that's the important part. And so somebody who spent a lot of time on icons, I'm going to go ahead and utilize what they've got. And I'm going to feel great about it, to be honest. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and I can eyedrop it now, because this is, you know, this is actually done with the stroke. So when you use the eyedropper in Illustrator, you're actually grabbing the whole style. So I didn't want to fill it in, but I do want it with that blue stroke. And I'm going to find one more. So what am I doing here, man? Well, I'm not giving you an icon course, but I am giving you how to get it done. So that is a great way to get it done quickly, effectively, efficiently, in a way that your client will like. And sometimes it will call for a bit more of a specific visual design for those icons, and I think it's important to note that this is not always going to work, and you might have to find some more expressive icons, but I think it's also good to realize there's occasions when you can get stuff done very quickly. So look at this. We've got an icon up here. We've got some interface controls, and we've replaced this area with some nice icons that are expressive, so on and so forth. There's also an awesome website, Envato, that has resources for icons quickly and finding different styles and things like that. If there's people that spend all of their time designing icons, it might be a good idea to utilize their work. And I think that's everything I wanted to cover today in this video. So thank you so much for following along. That's how to incorporate some icons, whether it's through Font Awesome or some kind of icon pack. Not how to design them, but how to utilize them in a web design interface. And thank you for joining me. Bye.